Hi guys, today we're going to work on lesson 37 and 38. I put these two lessons together because they both cover the same topic. So this ed puzzle might be a tad long, but it is a Wednesday, so you don't have as many Zoom classes. So I'm going to try to keep it as short as I possibly can. So our goal for this lesson is to transition from 4 partial products to the standard algorithm for 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication. So we're going to start out with doing our 4 partial products just like we did with yesterday's lesson 36. And we're going to break apart our 2 numbers. We're decomposing them into 35 will be 30 plus 5 and 26 will be 20 plus 6. So we're going to have 35 and then 26. So the standard algorithm is very similar to the way we've done partial products. We're going to start by looking at multiplying this digit by this digit. So 6 times 5. So we're going to do that over here, which we know is 30. Okay. And then we're going to do our 6 times our 3 tens, which we know is 180. Okay, so write those down here, 30 and 180. Okay, and then we're going to do the bottom 2. So we're going to move on to 2 tens times 5 ones. 2 tens times 5 ones would be 100. And then we're going to do 2 tens times 3 tens. So that's going to be 600. Okay, so when we're looking at the standard algorithm, we're really putting these together. So do you see where we've kind of shaded in the top part? So these 2 numbers are shaded in numbers, and we're going to add them together. We get 210. And then our 2 numbers that are not shaded in, we get 700. So if I put my 35 back together, let's see how I want to draw this. Let's do this. Okay, so if I put my 35 back together, I would really just be adding these 2. And then this whole top piece, we'll use a different color for it, is going to equal our 210. There we go. Okay, so 210. And then the bottom piece down here is going to equal, that's 20 times 35, which we see here. Actually, let's use a different color. That's going to be 700. Okay, so we're really kind of previously we've taken apart our numbers for our partial products. And here we're kind of putting them back together, or we're putting half of them back together. So we're making this 35 times 6 and then 35 times 20. Okay, so we're kind of like splitting it up into 35 times 6, which gives us this answer, and then 35 times 20, which gives us this answer. Okay, so our steps for our standard algorithm is we're just going to pretend like this 2 isn't even there and multiply this out. And then we're going to do the other side. And then add those 2 pieces together. So total, we would end up with 910. That would be our answer here. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the next problem. Let's see if we can draw this out. We're going to do 43 times 67. And we're going to look at it two ways. We're going to look at it using 4 partial products. And then we're going to look at it again using 2 partial products where we put our top number back together. Okay, so we're going to do 7 times 3. 7 times 3 is 21. 60 times 3. 67 times 40. 280, and 60 times 40 is 2,400. So we're going to look at, we're putting them back together. 67 times 3 is 180 plus 21, which I can do that in my head. That is 200. Gosh, 201. And then the bottom part is just going to be 2,400 plus 280. So this one was 67 times 3. This one's going to be 67 times 40, which is going to be 2,680. Okay, so let's show that using our lining it up vertically with our algorithm. So 67 times 43. So we have our 21, we have 180, we have 280, and then 2,400. Okay, and then over here, we had 201, and then 2,680. And our 201 was what we highlighted. We're going to add them together. Okay, so that's showing you, we're representing it using partial products and moving into the standard algorithm. Once we get used to doing that, then we won't even have to use the partial products and we can just use the standard algorithm. Okay, so I want to, on the next, I'm going to go back to when we split our number just like we did here. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at next. Okay, so I'm going to write this problem vertically. And I'm also going to 4, 20, and then 36. Okay, so we're looking at no, I wrote this wrong. We want to do 36 on top. 36 times 24. Okay. So we want to look at this as 4. We'll make this one yellow. try that again. Okay, so 4 times 36. Okay, so here we're going to do 4 times 6 is 24. And then 4 times 3 is 12 plus our 2, which is 14. So here we have 144. Okay, and then down here, we're going to do 20 times 36. Okay, we know 36 times 20 is really just 36 times 2 or 36 times 2 tens, right? So just with a 0 tacked on the end. So 36 times 2 tens, 2 times 6, 12. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So 72 tens, which is equal to 720. Okay, so now we have our partial pieces. So we're doing 4 times 6, 4 times 3, that gives us 144. And then we're doing 2 times 6, 2 times 3, that gives us 72 tens, and that's in our tens place. Okay, so then we just have to add a 0 there, and then add it together. It's 8, so 864. Okay, so the next problem we're going to do, we're going to try to do it without using the area model. So let's work this out without using the area model. Okay, so we're going to line this up. And we want to think about breaking up our bottom number into 1s times 42 and then 10s times 42. Okay, so I know 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, so that gives us 84. And then that means 42 times 20 should definitely be 840. Okay, so then we're going to line up our numbers. And then simply add. Easy as that. We got 924 as our answer. Okay, the last problem we're going to do is we are going to regroup within the problem instead of breaking it apart like we did here. Okay, let's see. 62 times 29. Okay, so we're going to start with our ones place. We're going to do 9 times 2. 9 times 2 is 18. Then we're going to do 9 times 6 and then add our carried number. So 9 times 6 is 54 plus 1 is going to be 55. Okay. Then I like to, since I've already dealt with it, I like to cross out my 9. So I know I don't have to look at that anymore. Okay, the next step is to do 2 tens times 2 ones. Well, if I did 2 tens times 2 ones, that's going to leave me with 4 tens. So my 4 has to go into the tens place. I also know that 4 tens is equal to 40. Okay, then I'm going to cover 2 tens times 6 tens. Okay, so 2 tens times 6 tens. So that would be 12 hundreds. So the 12 needs to go in the hundreds place. And then I'm going to add these two together to get our final answer. Okay, so we got 1,798. So we've done a ton of examples where in each example, we have progressed like more and more into the standard algorithm. So the standard algorithm is more efficient when you are doing multiplication, and you can do it a lot faster. However, we want you to practice the standard algorithm, but if you have a certain specific strategy that works for you, then stick with that strategy. Okay, unless the directions say otherwise. So we want you to practice these specific strategies, but on the assessment, you will not be required to do the specific strategies. So let's just quickly scroll through and look at the different strategies we've used. Okay, so we took our 4 partial products and put them into 2 partial products. We did the same thing here in this example, but in a different way. Then we just worked with 2 partial products. Then we worked with separating our 2 partial products. And then we worked with multiplying within the whole algorithm. Okay, so go through. If you need to rewatch an example, go back and rewatch an example, and that will help you with your assignment. If you're still confused, ask your teacher for help.